Welcome back to I've Got Something to Tell You with Tayler and
Colleen.
And okay, so we haven't recorded in person at my house in so long.
Yeah.
So
we're back to our old stomping grounds.
we are. It feels really cozy to me.
Yeah.
Does it to you too? And
Yeah.
Copper's right next to you. My dog.
Support animal.
I know. He's like, where have you been, Colleen?
No.
So I don't know. I feel like there's been so many like little things I wanted to catch up with you on here, and I should have wrote them down. I feel like 90% of them were like Bravo, but
Okay.
we can probably get into that next time because
we can get into it now if you want to.
Like, what's on Bravo right now? So
Vanderpump Rules.
Vanderpump Rules. Okay, let's start there.
Okay.
Because there's other ones too. So what are you thinking so far?
I like it. I think like it's kind of giving me the vibes of like early Vanderpump Rules because like, do you remember like they weren't like, you know,
rich.
Or like established or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're really trying to find their footing in like Hollywood and stuff. I love Venus.
Yeah, I feel like the apartment scenes always kind of remind me of like the original Vanderpump Rules because like you said, they're not established yet. They're just like people trying to like make it in LA, which I like that. But yeah, I like it too. I do like Venus, but I'm not like, I don't love any of the characters yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Audrey. Audrey?
Which
blonde?
Oh, yeah. No, okay. I like her too.
Her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's only 22. And I feel like she's had like conversations with people where like have you seen the recent one?
Yes.
With Angelica.
Okay. I couldn't remember her name, but.
That girl. Where she's like, I want to be a big sister to you. She's like, well, I don't want you to be.
I loved that she said that. I was like, tell her, girl.
Yeah.
Because that was bugging me so much. Yes. Like Angelica, the way she looks reminds me of Sheena.
Yeah, everybody's saying that.
Yeah. But I feel like I don't know. Sheena was like annoying, but I feel like this girl's like kind of infuriating.
Yeah. Sheena always bugged me.
Yeah.
And I know people like would go back and forth with her on like certain seasons, but Sheena always annoyed me. But this Angelica girl, like, and then when she goes to apologize to Jason.
I think.
Whatever.
One of the OnlyFans guys.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm sorry that I made fun of you or something like that. I was like, that's not. And she was being a jerk about it. Like.
She was so. Okay. So the hurting the back thing was so stupid.
Oh my God.
That was more annoying to me than the actual like penis pump thing that she kept telling everybody. She was just like crying about it. I'm like, ugh.
And then she'd be like, but I'm fine right now. It's like.
And she's like dancing and arching her back. Like, did you see that? He like fully dipped her.
Yeah.
And she's like, ew.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's infuriating to me. But she gives a little bit of a Sheena vibe. And she kind of looked like they have the big eyes.
Yeah. And like her space buns drive me crazy.
I don't like it.
Yeah. She's very pretty. Like, don't get me wrong. But like, it's just a lot. So yeah, I like Audrey. Probably an unpopular opinion. I fucking love Marcus.
I like Marcus.
I think he's so funny.
Yeah.
Like, but he's going to be problematic. He's our Jax. He's our new Jax, I think.
Do you think I don't know if he's like a Jax. Because Jax is like another level.
Okay, well, maybe not.
Maybe a Sandoval.
Okay, yes, a Sandoval.
Only because the recent Valley, he's kind of low-key scary. Jax.
Yeah. No. I think you're right. Like, yeah. He might be a Sandoval. Like,
narcissist.
Yeah.
Egocentric.
I'm sorry, but he cracks me up. Like, yeah. What was the part where Venus and Marcus's girlfriend were talking? And he just walks out and he's like, I feel left out.
I know. I'm glad they're like, well, oh, wait, no, they're not friends again. Him and the girl are, not Marcus.
Yeah.
But I thought that was like a cute dynamic, the three of them, until all the shit went down.
Yeah.
Well, that was our Vanderpump Rules catch up. What's next?
Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Okay, Salt Lake City. Oh, the reunion just happened? I don't care. I'm Team Lisa. Yeah, she probably lies, but I cannot stand Heather this season.
Yeah.
She's so annoying. And then Whitney, I can't with her healing journey.
Her healing
journey. I'm like, leave Meredith alone.
Okay.
Like, I'm sure she flipped out. Like, she's had crash outs on every season. It's nothing new. Okay.
They did Meredith so dirty in like one scene where it was just like, and we think like Meredith isn't okay. And then it's like her at the spa in Greece and she's just like literally like barely holding her head up. I was
like, listen, at a spa, probably be doing the same thing. No, but I saw like online that Monica's getting involved now. Oh, I'm like, ooh, this is juicy.
Monica needs to leave the narrative.
And she will never leave.
Yeah.
She lives for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Southern Charm. Have you been watching it or no?
I have. I hate it. Like,
there's no one really likable on it besides Vanita Madison.
I like her dressing up as Shep for the book party.
Cute.
I loved that. Her humor is so good.
I know. I feel like she's just like classic.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of like Molly again. A little. Because I did, and I'm going to be honest with you. It's because on one of her posts, I saw Paige liked it. I'm like, okay, Paige's are cute.
Yeah, okay.
She bugged me about that weird comment about, it was something about Craig when Paige was with him. And I'm just like, ew, I just don't like when girls do that in general. But
yeah, Molly.
That was really not specific because I can't remember. But
well, and we were texting about this. Is like Molly bugs me because like she seems to be that girl that's like always like
too cool.
Yeah, and like trying too hard to
be like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm different.
Which is like fine if it's genuine, but like it doesn't feel like truly genuine. Sierra, that's the one that feels like genuine. Like when she dresses up like for parties and stuff, she's like, yeah, I could be hot. But
yeah, like it's part of like her personality.
Yeah.
And you can see it come out in different ways instead of trying to be like, no, look at me. Like I do this.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what bugs me about Molly. So that's where the disconnect is happening between me and Tayler right now. But
no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like you explained it really well because I just didn't really know what it was, but there's just something like, it was just like too much of this.
Yeah.
But I originally like didn't like her as much because of that comment more so because I just don't like when people are shady like that.
And then Sally.
She bugs me so much.
I honestly feel for this poor girl because like she is so not connected to what is happening in her life. Like when Craig, so she like wants to go buy chickens and stuff because Craig was like, you should buy chickens. And they're literally in the store buying chickens. And she's like, I like you. And he's like, ooh, I don't.
His response, I know. I feel like his response was like harsh. Like he could have been like nicer about it. I feel like he was just like straight away like, no, we're just friends.
Okay.
Unless it caught him off guard.
He's also a douchebag because he's been having her over like multiple nights in a row, like late nights, like whatever. Like he's leading her on.
And he's justifying it by being like, well, we didn't kiss. That's like, you guys text all the time. You're in the hot tub. She's making it pretty clear.
Yeah.
Should not be a surprise.
It should not be a surprise. He's a scumbag.
Yeah. Not a Craig fan at all. And he has tiny hands.
Does he?
You haven't noticed?
No.
Oh, it bugs me so much. And all his confessionals, they're really little. And he's always picking his hands. Now that I told you that, you're always going to know
it. Yeah.
You're going to notice it. Okay, sorry. We're going down the Bravo rabbit hole.
Norman's going to have to cut this. But also one more thing is, and I know he did this for a good reason, but he would paint one nail. Right? Like he would always get one nail.
Oh, what was the reason? I don't even know.
I think it was like, I'm not making fun of this like cause, but because Craig did it, it always bothered me. He did it because it was like 1 in 5 men were abused. And so we'd always get one fingernail painted.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it gave me Sandoval vibes. And it never, again, it just comes back to like being genuine. And it never felt genuine. Like, it just felt like
he's more doing it because it's like it shows physically. Like, look, I'm painting my one fingernail.
Yeah. And I don't think he does it anymore.
It was more of a phase for him, probably. Yeah. Well, as if you didn't need any more reasons to dislike him, there you go.
We just need one reason. Paige doesn't like him. We don't like him.
Mm-mm.
Our queen.
He was not good to her.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was our Bravo catch up. Listen, we haven't seen each other like this in a long time, so we had to catch up. I feel like I
have other stories to tell you, but
about Bravo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, Petey.
I know. Did you miss me too?
He did. Oh
my gosh, I'm sorry.
He always just like helps himself right into your lap. So, way off topic of Bravo, but I wanted to tell you about a weird experience that I had. Okay. Not paranormal. So, before a live show, like, you know, I like hypnosis and meditations. Mm-hmm. I always do like a speaking hypnosis. Okay. Like speaking to a crowd, just to, like, get myself like warmed up and ready. And so like it goes into that, but it's also like your typical like hypnosis. Like it relaxes you, it counts you down. And then from what I remember, I feel like it tells you to like tap into like, I don't know, like something in your consciousness. Yeah. Consciousness. Mm-hmm. So anyway, and I was pretty nervous for this show. So I think that's why like I did it the day of. Usually I'll do it like maybe the night before or something. And so I was already in like a state of like, I'm anxious. I don't think I'm going to be able to relax. And until I was laying there. And then like I went into like that state of like trance or whatever. Like you're not asleep, but you're aware. And normally when you're visualizing, it's like, you're aware that you're visualizing. Like if I tell you, think of like a flower, you're like, okay, like thinking of it. But this was like, it was weird. Like I felt like these visuals were almost like coming to me, almost like a vivid like movie screen. Nothing to do with the hypnosis. It was something else. But it was all of these like really bright colors and like shapes and patterns and stuff. And then then I started seeing people's like faces like that I didn't recognize. And then there was like this like timeline. And I felt like I was like watching somebody's life like on a timeline. And like I can't remember the specifics because as soon as I like the hypnosis, like they count you out of it. Mm-hmm. I forgot it, but I was like, whoa, like what was that? It was really cool though.
What happened on the timeline?
I can't remember. That's what I was like, I wish I could remember that, but I almost feel like I was like really in it and like watching it. But it was like the timeline of somebody's life, like big events like happening, but I didn't know who it was. Like I think it was like a man, but I don't remember.
Not a man.
But it was wild. I think the way it was like more so like coming to me, like I wasn't doing any work of like trying to visualize. Like it was more like, it was like, I don't know. It was so weird, but it was cool.
Yeah.
It's never happened before, I don't think, but it was very interesting. So if anyone has any meditation stories or visualization stories, please let us know because I love hearing about that stuff. And that was kind of a first for me, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, I have to tell her, even though it was the day of our show. So I was like, I'm not going to say it during the live show because it's like a little out there.
Why? You should.
I know. Well, maybe next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty crazy. So that was my story.
I love that.
I have also like tried like meditating and stuff after that, and I didn't get the same effect. So
what do you think?
Stay tuned.
I was going to say, like, what do you think caused that like to happen?
I feel like it's like the level of relaxed that you are, because I do feel like to like kind of like receive something from whatever you believe, you have to be in a state of relaxation, which was surprising to me because I feel like I was opposite of that that day. Like to open yourself up to like receive messages, I guess. Because I mean, it could have been nothing. Like it could have, like maybe the people were like nobody, but like could have been symbolizing something that I just didn't understand. But I don't know if that answered your question.
No, it does. Like, okay. I think that's what I was interested in, is like what made the difference to like have that experience. And you were saying that you were kind of in a state of anxiety. And then,
you know, one other thing that I just, sorry to cut you off, but when you were saying that, I was like, okay, there's another thing I think that makes me like extra relaxed is doing meditations or hypnosis during the day. Because there's something about at night, like, even though I know like Seb's home and stuff, it's like, I don't know, I get creeped out a little bit.
Okay.
Because it's like, you're listening to something and your eyes are closed and it's just like telling you to like go into this relaxed state. And it's almost like you're so present that you're like hyper aware. I'm like, it's going to be a ghost. I don't know why my mind goes there. But I mean, maybe, because I feel like that's like when you're going to a different like level of trance, like you're kind of tapping into that state. So you never know.
No, I get that. Like I'll be honest, the only comparison I can make to that is like there are shows that I can watch during the day and there are shows that I can watch during the night. And they won't scare me because I watch them during the day, but I will watch them or they won't scare me because I watch them during the day, but I cannot watch them during the night because your
mind starts playing tricks on you. Yeah, it's like not like it's not like
sorry,
I'm gonna get dragged off the bed. No, that was a good comparison. It's true. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try it during the day. We'll see.
That's cool, though.
Thank you.
You're very open.
You are too. You're very intuitive. Don't even. Don't you dare disagree with me. I was telling Colleen, I feel like her intuitive skill is like picking up on people that can't like express themselves. Like if they're not like, I could be saying something that makes no sense and you translate it in a way that I'm like, whoa. And I've seen you do it for other people too. I'm like, that is her skill.
I love that. But also then I have a hard time expressing.
I don't think you do.
Okay.
No.
You're like, no, you say it.
Like, what are you trying to say? I'm just kidding. Okay.
All right. We gotta get into our stories.
Let's get into it. Do you have a preference on who goes first?
Do you?
I can go.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited about mine.
Okay.
So one thing that we haven't caught up on is Stranger Things. Did you watch it?
Yes.
So I'm going to be covering the Montauk Project. And it's not fully based off the Montauk Project, but they used pieces of it.
Okay.
Which I didn't realize when I picked it. I know I had read that before, but it's interesting. So let's get into it.
Well, what were your feelings on the end of Stranger Things, on the finale?
I liked it. I know a lot of people had like...
I hated it, so...
You hated it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't really have big expectations, I guess. Like, I liked the series, but I guess I just didn't really...
Yeah. When I say I hated it, I guess you hit it on the nose of, like, the expectations were better than what was served to us as an ending. It didn't make any sense to me. Like, and then I fell into the whole theory that like there was going to be a different finale.
You did?
Oh, 100%.
Like the January 7th one? Yeah.
Oh my God. I was like Kyle was making fun of me because he like told me about it. And then I was getting TikToks. So I was like, honestly, this makes sense.
You're like, it's going to happen, guys.
Yeah, and
my other friend said that too. And I was like, okay. I mean, like, I think it'd be cool if it came out, but I didn't really think it was going to. But then I feel like you never know.
Yeah. I was like, that would have made sense to me. But yeah. God,
the only thing I didn't that was kind of annoying at the end was when they were going into like what's their names? Hopper and whatever the mom's name is getting engaged, and then that lasted so long.
Well,
like,
and it made no sense for them as like characters to be at this like fancy restaurant to like
those parts were weird.
Yeah,
the catching up thing.
Yeah, like none of it made sense for their characters, which was why I like totally fell into the rabbit hole of like, oh, Yeah. Okay, that wasn't the real finale.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying about that then. Because, yeah, those ones and like when they're all meeting on the rooftop, I was kind of like, it lasted so long.
It lasted
I was
so
like,
long
oh
and
my
it was
God.
so stupid.
It was stupid, yeah. Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
The only part I liked the last part when they were playing the game. I thought that was a cool way to kind of like end it. And like, I don't mind when series end it open-ended, kind of like that. Like, it's up to you to decide like what happened. Did she really die, or was that his theory real? Like,
I think she's 100% alive. These guys made so much money off this freaking show. They're bringing it back in 10 years. Like, yeah, come on now.
I think she is too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
okay, sorry.
Those were our feelings on Stranger Things. But Colleen, I got something to tell you. About the Montauk Project. So, the Montauk Project is one of the most infamous conspiracy legends to come out of the Cold War era, centered around Camp Hero, a decommissioned military base in Montauk, New York, at the far eastern tip of Long Island. On the surface, Camp Hero was a radar station built to defend the U.S. against enemy attacks, but according to whistleblowers and researchers, something far more disturbing was happening underground. The story claims that beginning in the 1940s and continuing through the 1980s, the U.S. government conducted a series of secret experiments involving mind control, psychic warfare, time travel, and interdimensional contact. These experiments were allegedly a continuation of Project MKUltra, using human subjects, many of them children, runaways, or people taken from nearby areas. Survivors and insiders described being subjected to extreme psychological conditioning. Children were reportedly abducted and exposed to trauma-based mind control, including isolation, fear conditioning, and hallucination induction. Some accounts say the goal was to fracture the mind, allowing the government to implant commands, memories, or abilities that could later be activated. Several individuals later claimed to have recovered memories of being trained as psychics, soldiers, or even time travelers. One of the foundational voices of the Montauk Project lore is Preston B. Nichols, who wrote the book The Montauk Project: Experiments in Time in 1992, which is where I'm going to quote a lot of different things.
Okay.
Just to give you a heads up. Nichols claimed that while visiting the site decades after it closed, he began recovering repressed memories of his participation in classified experiments at Camp Hero. According to Nichols, these weren't everyday military experiments. They involved mind manipulation, psychic amplification, and time travel technology buried deep beneath the radar station. Nichols described a device known as the Montauk Chair, a psychic contraption that supposedly used electromagnetics to enhance a subject's innate mental powers. He claimed that people seated in the chair could project their thoughts into reality, teleport objects, or even open pathways through time and space. In his telling, certain individuals, especially psychically gifted ones, could see through others' senses while using the chair. So in his own writings, he says, the first experiment was called the seeing eye. With a lock of a person's hair or other appropriate object in his hand, Duncan, who was another subject, could concentrate on the person and be able to see as if he was seeing through their eyes, hearing through their ears, and feeling through their body, which that's not new to us. Mm-hmm. That happened in Project Stargate too, mm-hmm. and I think the MKUltra one too. So in his quote, he's referring to another subject named Duncan, like I said. So let's talk about his experience in the chair. Ooh. Yeah. On August 12th, 1983, when a session with the Montauk Chair was underway, the experiment opened a portal or time tunnel and began to destabilize. The subject in the chair, Duncan, lost control of his psychic focus. As a result, a manifested creature formed, one born from his subconscious.
What?
And physically emerged from the experiment. So the quote in the book says, "We finally decided we've had enough of the whole experiment. The contingency program was activated by someone approaching Duncan while he was in the chair and simply whispering, 'The time is now.' At that moment, he let loose a monster from his subconscious. the transmitter actually portrayed a hairy monster. It was big, hairy, hungry, and nasty.
Hungry?
He was hungry.
Where's my snacks?
He said it would eat anything it could find, and it smashed everything in sight. I just imagine it being like the Hulk. Several different people saw it, but almost everyone described it as a different beast. So it was weird. Like they were saying, like you just said, everyone saw it there, like doing the same thing, like being destructive. But like some people would be like huge. Some people would be like, I don't know, like 7 foot tall, like as opposed to like 30 feet tall or something like that.
30 feet tall.
I think that's what it said, but I didn't write it down. But they saw it differently, which to me, it was like almost like, since it came out of his subconscious, I wonder if their subconscious minds had like a different idea of it, which is, that's weird.
He's
that's
like,
wild.
I can only perpetuate like the 30 feet for some people. Like
too big for others.
Yeah.
They're like, not realistic. We would never think of that.
Yeah.
So the incident forced project leaders to terminate the experiment by smashing equipment or shutting down the power feeding the chair and portal. And that part's jumping ahead a little bit because that's when they decided to shut down like the entire project. But we're going to move on to some other things. So, as I said earlier, a lot of the kids used as subjects in these experiments were orphans, runaways, or children of drug addicts. Addicts. Sorry. I was like, why did I say it like that? Addicts. Anyway. Words today, man.
I like the way you... Addicts?
Addicts. Sounds better in my opinion. So anyway, some of the kids were as young as 4 years old. And they called these kids the Montauk Boys.
They're like a gang, like...
Yeah. Stuart...
We're the Montauk Boys.
Tip my hat. They just have canes. I wish it was like that.
Sorry. It's a Broadway musical that we're going to write next.
Okay, that would be a wild musical. The hairy beast comes out like dancing. Yeah. Tapping.
I love that. Tap dancing Sasquatch. Sassy Sasquatch coming out.
And here comes Sassy Sasquatch. He's hairy, hungry,
and here for you.
Straight from the subconscious. Anyway. Okay, so the Montauk Boys. Stuart Swerdlow, one of the Montauk Boys, told a British tabloid that he remembers terrifying episodes from his youth after undergoing hypnosis, describing experiences he said occurred during the Montauk experiments, which is where anyone that came forward, it was like a memory uncovered because they think like the government wiped their memory, which they do in all these different projects. The psychic ones.
Mm-hmm.
So he recalls that they were subjected to trauma-based programming meant to break down their minds so they could be reconditioned for use as psychic operatives. They would change, this is another quote. They would change the temperature from very hot to very cold, starve you, then overfeed you. I remember being beaten with a wooden pole. They also used LSD to put our brains into an altered state.
Very like MK Ultra.
Mm-hmm. He even claimed that some of the children were forced into near drowning, holding their heads underwater until their behavior changed. A chilling description of how the alleged programming worked. Swerdlow added that he also observed project staffers sexually abusing the children in order to break them down, which all of it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Swerdlow even said that he and other Montauk Boys were sent to Mars and back to biblical times via the project's portals. So that's what he remembered. So in another quote, he said, in the early days, as they were perfecting the coordinates, a lot of boys were simply lost, he said. I still have nightmares about it today. I wasn't I wasn't there when the Montauk chair was shut off, but I felt it. Like I suddenly had been unplugged from electricity.
Wow.
So crazy that he felt like that connected to it. Time manipulation is another major element of the Montauk legend. Some claim the experiment succeeded in opening time portals, allowing people to be sent into the past or future. Others describe slipping into alternate timelines or realities altogether. Several survivors say they experienced missing time, sudden age discrepancies, or memories of entire lifetimes that never happened. Duncan reportedly could cause portals to open almost any time by concentrating on a specific date, making the portal spiral appear directly in front of him. Individuals were sent through these time tunnels to alternate eras, including events tied to the Philadelphia experiment of 1943. Did you hear of that one?
Yeah.
Crazy. So that's where the Navy supposedly made a ship, the USS Eldridge, invisible.
Mm-hmm.
And during this experiment, it was said that the crew members went insane after the ship reappeared, and some of the crew members were even fused to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So scary, and had like severe burns and stuff like that. So bad side effect of whatever they were experimenting.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Not the best. That would be terrifying.
They're
to see
like,
someone
worst
fused.
case scenario is you'll get fused to a ship.
They're like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll try it out.
Yeah.
In 1988, Al Bielek saw the movie The Philadelphia Experiment and had an overwhelming sense of deja vu.
Oh, no.
He ended up uncovering memories and therapy about the Philadelphia Project, but then also of the Montauk Project, because I feel like when there's one, the other is going to come after that because they're related. He claimed to have lived multiple lifetimes because of time travel, including missions into the distant past and future as part of operational objectives while he was in the Montauk Project. Other participants also described experiencing missing time where entire blocks of memory vanished and they couldn't account for how long they had been gone for in their present reality. And so there were also repeated claims of interdimensional beings being contacted through these experiments. Because why wouldn't they be? Yeah. Aliens are involved in all this shit.
They're like, let's get in on this.
Yeah. Those Greys, man.
Ugh, those guys.
They're in this.
Oh, no.
Witnesses describe non-human entities appearing in underground chambers, sometimes communicating telepathically. Some say these beings provided knowledge in exchange for access to our world. In one account, after stepping through a portal, a witness described finding themselves in a lush, jungle-like world. There, in quotes, reptilian creatures, of course them too.
Yeah, those fuckers.
Tall lizard-like beings stood watching from the undergrowth. They reportedly described their presence as not friendly, with the immediate feeling of being one of threat and danger. Which, by the way, I still blame the reptilians for messing up my algorithm when I was posting. Ever since I posted about them, it got flagged and it fucked
everything up.
And that's also like one of our most listened to episodes too. I don't know if you noticed
People
that.
Love reptilians.
It's the reptilians listening to
it. We've been flagged. I take it back. You guys aren't fuckers. We love you.
Restore our algorithm.
Let us get our TikTok views again.
The portals weren't just for exploring and seeing who's on the other side. Some portals were intentional. They used one to interact with the Greys, and they would ask for technology in exchange for access to human subjects for experimentation, which so rude.
Get
so
your
rude.
own.
I know. Why? Like, what do you need to know? Yeah. Weirdos.
Mind your business.
Mind your business. Stay on your planet. Ugly. Just kidding.
Tayler, we're never going to get our algorithm back.
Those are the reptilians. We have different beef. Different aliens.
I thought they were okay. Reptilians aren't the top of our list. Those were the Greys.
Oh wait, like who's in charge?
Mm-hmm.
I think, isn't the reptilians?
Yeah.
And then the Greys are beneath them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they suck. Anyway. Moving on.
They're reporting us to their bosses right now.
They're like, shut these bitches down. So even after Camp Hero officially closed, people visiting the area have reported electronic malfunctions, dizziness, time distortion, and an overwhelming sense of dread. Locals tell stories of entering restricted tunnels and feeling watched, disoriented, or suddenly panicked. Some claim the underground facility still exists, sealed but active. I'm sure it does. I don't know about the same location, but of course they're still doing those programs. I mean, I personally feel like, because I feel like the human mind is capable of so much more than we even think, and it's so much more powerful than we think. But anyway, so today Camp Hero is a public park, but many believe that, you know, you can still see it, like the outside of it, because it's like a military base. The Montauk Project has become legendary. I can't today.
That was kind of you throwing. That's kind of a good phrase for you.
Legendary?
Legendary.
I love the spin that you put on that. You know what? I meant to say that. It's legendary.
Yeah.
Not just for its disturbing claims, but for how many people unconnected to one another that tell similar stories. So it's just like, there's random people. But
there's consistency.
Yeah. I mean, I believe them. I don't know about anybody else, but when there's consistency, like you say, I feel like there's truth to it. And also, why wouldn't our government be capable of that? Come on.
Yeah.
And aliens are involved? The mean ones?
Yeah. Once they get involved,
shit's about to hit the fan.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, we'll take a break and then we'll get into our true crime. And we're back.
We are back. And Tayler, I've got something to tell you. So we talked about intuition, and I feel like we do this all the time. But okay, so my story, I started out by, like, my most recent fixation has been reading about CTE, which is chronic traumatic I'm going to butcher this so bad. Okay, we're not going to say the last word because I can't say it. But it's basically repeated head trauma. So you picked a story that was all about, like, things in your brain.
Like neurological?
I picked a story that was all about things in your brain. But so CTE is basically, like I said, repeated head trauma, and most commonly repeated head trauma in sports. I recently watched a documentary, and now I just can't stop reading about it, listening to podcasts, everything. Like, I know that there's been so many, like, stories about this, but, like, again, it's just my current hyperfixation of...
I'm here for it.
Yeah. Revitalizing.
Your hyperfixation is my hyperfixation.
Love that. Shared psychosis.
I love that.
But so CTE, though, is, like, super dark. It's complicated. It's twisted. And the more you learn about it, the more you realize how long we normalized brain damage, particularly as part of the game within sports. So before I tell you the actual case that I'm going to cover, I'm going to do a quick little book report about CTE because I want to.
Cool.
So CTE is a degenerative brain disease that's been associated with repeated head impacts, primarily concussions, but also those smaller hits that don't always knock you out, yet still add up over time. There is no definitive test for CTE while someone is alive. Confirmation only comes after death. And that's because they have to examine slices of the brain tissue. So they can't obviously do that while you're alive.
Yeah.
From what I've seen and read, there are basically holes that, like, develop within the brain tissue that they can only get by taking, like, very thin slices of the brain and, like, examining it. Also, what makes CTE so scary is it's not just about, like, memory loss. It shows up in changes in mood, behavior, and judgment. It can cause depression, anxiety, impulsivity, and aggression. And obviously problems with thinking clearly, all related.
Oh, that sucks that they can't figure that out till after they die.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that explains it.
And I'm definitely not saying like, oh, everyone with brain trauma or played a sport becomes violent, because that's clearly just not true. But the brain is literally the control center for who you are, how you handle stress, how you regulate emotion, and how you make decisions. And repeated damage to your control center impacts more than people realize. Which brings us to our story. Because there is one case that sits right at the intersection of sports, repeated head trauma, and a public tragedy so horrifying that people still struggle to talk about it. I'm going to not lie, this was a hard one for me to research, but I've been wanting to do it for a long time. I am covering Chris Benoit, the wrestler who killed his family. Yes. Let's talk about Chris Benoit. He was a professional wrestler who started his career in 1985, and he continued into the early 2000s. He spiked during a period when wrestling was at its most physically extreme. This was the era when everything had to be bigger, harder, like get a reaction out of people, which meant harder strikes, riskier, high-flying moves, and matches built around pushing the human body to its limits. Wrestlers were diving off ladders, crashing through tables, taking unprotected shots to the head with chairs, and they were like stacking themselves on top of each other to like take riskier jumps. So like all of this was crazy. Benoit was also known to be one of the only wrestlers that while they would take chair shots to the head, he would take them to the back of the head, and he was one of the only ones that did this.
He would take them, or he'd hit people?
He'd take them.
Oh. He's all, do it again.
And he was huge. Like, I was talking, like, when I told Kyle that I was going to do this, he's like, everybody knows Chris Benoit. And I was like, I don't think so.
Not me.
Yeah. But he's like, he remembered, like, he's a boy. So he remembers watching wrestling, and he's like, yeah, Benoit was like, the guy. He was like Ric Flair era. Like, do you know who Ric Flair is? Okay. I'm trying to think of like other ones, but like Ric Flair, like Hulk Hogan. Like,
I know that one.
He was very like golden, quote unquote, era of wrestling.
Oh, okay.
We talked about like how they were escalating the way that they were harming each other. So this used to be like a once in a while thing. So like they would throw in like a chair, like getting hit over somebody's head every once in a while. It quickly became routine and the norm. Pain tolerance became a selling point, and the ability to keep going after brutal hits was just expected and definitely applauded by the audience. They freaking loved this.
Yeah.
Within that world, Benoit also had a very specific reputation. He was known as intense, disciplined, and obsessive about wrestling as a craft. He trained constantly, he took the job very seriously, and was respected by other wrestlers as someone you could trust in the ring. And trust in the ring matters a lot because, okay, we're just going to say, wrestling is scripted. We all know it.
Yeah.
But these guys are athletes, and there's a very particular way of how they like choreograph the wrestling match so that yes, they are athletes. They are like putting their bodies on the line, but they're doing it in a way that they won't get hurt. And that if you miss a cue or mistake a move, or if you even land a few inches different, you're talking about a broken neck, spinal injuries, concussions, or there be people that have died in the ring. Benoit had a reputation for being someone who knew exactly what he was doing and did not get sloppy, which is why so many people respected him and wanted to work with him. Also, I just put in as a aside, a lot of my knowledge of wrestling comes from Total Divas.
I was literally thinking that, like, Nikki Bella.
Yes, because she, like, broke her freaking neck. Like,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, like, she did. I remember her, like, in
a cast.
Yeah.
Or neck brace.
And, I mean, they're in incredible shape. Like, they really are athletes. Also, humble brag, I did work with some of the Total Divas for a marketing campaign. I'm not going to say who, but they are divas. So
I'm sure.
I'll tell you that story offline.
Cool.
But I found it interesting. So again, a lot of my knowledge comes from Total Divas, but if you remember Natalia, Natty.
Oh, yeah.
She was part of the Hart family, and the Hart family was like royalty within wrestling. And Benoit trained with the Hart family.
Okay.
So, like, again, he was like big time.
Yeah, because
like,
her dad was like the big time one, right?
Yes, yeah. Benoit also worked stiff, which I had to look this up. So in wrestling, that in working stiff means a wrestler is intentionally hitting harder than normal. He's not trying to injure anyone, but also they're not pulling their punches as much as most performers do.
Mm-hmm.
The move is still planned, the match is still scripted, but the contact is realer and heavier than average. So it's like, I'm going to make this look real, but it's going to hurt, but he's also going to receive it back. So his matches were apparently very fun to watch because of this.
Mm-hmm.
So Benoit hit hard, which meant he absorbed a lot of punishment and took pride in pushing himself physically. That approach fit perfectly into the culture at the time. Benoit was especially known for one move that, in hindsight, feels impossible to watch. He had a diving headbutt. He would just like get up on the like whatever the lines are.
Yeah.
And just like go full head into like his opponent.
Oh my God.
Which, if that is not asking for
a head injury.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going all in with the head.
He's like, listen, my head doesn't hurt enough. Let's like.
My head's a rock.
Yeah.
I wonder if he smashed cans on his head too.
Yeah, yeah, that's a warm-up.
He's like, that's child's play.
Yeah. He's like, I smash cans on my head for breakfast.
First thing in the morning, man.
So concussions at the time were obviously not taken seriously. If anything, they sound encouraged. I said getting your bell rung was normal. If you could stand up, you could keep working. There were no concussion protocols, no medical oversight around head injuries, and no long-term tracking of what repeated impacts might do to the brain. In that same era, steroid use was a part of the job. Wrestlers were expected to maintain extreme physiques while working punishing schedules with very little recovery time. Anabolic steroids and other performance-enhancing drugs were widely used across professional wrestling as a way to stay big, strong, and durable enough to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
That was the standard of the industry, and performers used steroids. Companies were very highly aware of it. Benoit himself was a very high steroid user. If you see this guy, he's a massive dude. So again, I go back to, he wasn't just physically huge, he was huge in the wrestling world. Over the course of his career, Benoit held around 30 championships around major promotions, including WWE and WWF. And that's an enormous number in wrestling. These titles are how you know who the stars are because they're picking their winners. Mm-hmm. They know who the audience reacts to. Like, again, no disrespect to this industry. Mm-hmm. Not a wrestling fan, but at the same time, respect them as athletes.
Yeah.
But they do pick their winners based on marketing. Mm-hmm. So the people with titles are the ones the wrestling companies know belong on TV because they are the ones the audience is invested in and who is carrying the product. Just to put this into perspective, that Benoit had 30 championships. I picked the two wrestlers that I know. John Cena has 16 and The Rock has around 10.
Oh.
So his career puts him in the top, Benoit's career puts him in the top tier of wrestlers like in his era. He was on television constantly, headlining events. Again, everybody knew Benoit. Mm-hmm. Kyle knows Benoit, so I assume everybody knows Benoit.
Everybody knew Benoit except us.
Yeah. Besides us. Outside of the ring, Benoit was married to Nancy Benoit, who was also involved in professional wrestling. And they had a son together named Daniel. Now, Nancy wasn't just a wrestler's wife. She had her own career. She worked as a valet. And So valets are generally people who are in training, or they're, I didn't want to say a ring girl, but that's the only thing that I could think of comparing them to. But they're essentially the ones that like walk the wrestler out and are kind of like their hype people. Oh. Generally, they are good looking women too. So they're part of the performance, or they can become part of a storyline for a wrestler. So she was very embedded in that like wrestling world. She understood the business, she understood the travel schedules, and all of the pressure that came with the career in wrestling. This wasn't someone who was on the outside looking in. She was someone who lived the industry right alongside him. So from the outside, the Benoits looked like what people in wrestling would probably describe as a success story. They were a wrestling family in the most literal sense, both parents working in the industry, traveling to get together and making it work. Nancy knew the business and fully supported Chris's career. Daniel was along for the ride in the way kids often are in that environment. Wrestling families live a very specific kind of normal. They have long travel. I read that they travel over, at minimum, 300 days out of the year.
Damn.
Yeah. So
that's like the entire year.
Exactly. That's 2 months that you're not traveling, and you don't know when those 2 months are like sporadically spread about. So
you gotta love what you're doing.
Yeah. Which I imagine is also exhausting. So imagine you are literally diving off of things with your head first, getting concussions night over night, and you're just traveling constantly.
Be all sorts of disoriented.
Exactly. But so they were the family that just wrestling was their life. Wrestling is life. All right. Now we are going to jump to June of 2007. So remember, he started in 1985. So Chris Benoit was still actively booked, still part of ongoing storylines, still traveling and performing the way he had for nearly 20 years. That weekend, he was scheduled for a run of WWE live events in Texas, followed by television. So, like, he was going to have whatever, Raw or whatever those are called. And then he was going to be a television event. Normal weekend, he had worked the schedule hundreds of times. But on Saturday, June 23rd, 2007, Benoit didn't arrive for his first show. That stood out immediately because Benoit was reliable. He was the type of guy who would text he was running late before anyone even had to ask. So people in WWE started getting texts later from Benoit saying that there was a family emergency. He said that Nancy and Daniel were sick with food poisoning. And the way he made it sound was that he was just delayed. Like, sorry, family got sick. I'm still on my way. But like, they're still expecting him. Yeah. But so at first, doesn't sound like a crisis. Life happens. Benoit was reliable. And that he was figuring it out. But as the day went on, Benoit never showed up. They never received another update. There wasn't a clear answer whether he was still coming or missing the show entirely. So the event goes on without him. Then the absence starts feeling wrong. Like it's very much out of his character to not communicate with his job. So then Sunday comes and Benoit is still not there and he's still not communicating. By that point, he had missed the Texas shows and he was scheduled to be a part of the upcoming television event. So people expected some kind of follow-up, like something, like what's going on, dude? Like, you're our guy. And
like you're reliable and now you're MIA.
Yeah. Like, and also now we're concerned about your family. How sick are they? So they're expecting like a message, some sort of clarification, but nothing came. Now, inside WWE, the concern wasn't about a single missed appearance anymore. It was about the fact that Benoit had gone completely quiet. Again, this is not how he operated. He had spent years showing up, communicating, handling his responsibilities. Ghosting was completely out of his character. As the day went on, people tried reaching him, calls went unanswered, and messages didn't get responses. By the end of Sunday, Benoit had missed multiple commitments and no one had heard from him. That's when the situation shifted from waiting to worry. So by Sunday night, people inside WWE were doing the thing that, like, you know, when you're like, it's fine, but inside your stomach, you're just like, ugh, like I feel kind of like I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is 2 straight days of missed commitments, and the only communication they had from Benoit was a vague family emergency food poisoning story that never got clearer.
Mm-hmm.
Then between 3:51 and 3:58 a.m., Benoit sent a series of text messages to coworkers. He sent 5 messages total, and they were just repeating the same thing. He texted his home address, 130 Green Meadow Lane, multiple times. The first 3 were sent from his phone, and then he sends 2 more, or 2 more are received from Nancy's phone.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just him repeating the same thing, his home address. And it's like...
Wait, he was texting his home address?
Yes.
Oh.
And like, to me, that's like a state of emergency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you're on like no, I guess I was going to say when you're on a 911 call, like I'm on 911 calls all the time. But you know what I mean? Like
you're sending your address
like
right away.
Yeah. Like if you get on, like if you're trying to like report an emergency, you want them to know where you are like immediately. So you just keep repeating the address to like get people there as fast as possible. That's what it reminded me of.
Wait, so there was some sent from the wife and him?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
At least from her phone.
Okay.
He also sends another message saying the dogs are in the enclosed pool area. Garage side door is open. So he follows up with those, like basically saying it's safe to enter.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Yeah.
So now WWE learns about the text from Benoit. So he's sending these at like roughly before 4 a.m. But the company doesn't learn about them until 12:30 p.m. on Monday. Keep in mind, he's been missing since Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And once those messages were in the hands of the right people, they're like, he's not sick. Why are you sending your address instructions about the dogs at 4 a.m? So by 12:45 p.m., the WWE contacts Fayetteville, Georgia.
Mm-mm.
So Fayetteville County Sheriff's Office. And they're asked to do a welfare check at the Benoit home. When deputies arrive, they checked around the property and they find the dogs in the enclosed pool area, exactly like the text said. And he had 2 like big Rottweilers or something like that, which was like cute. Love that. They saw the garage door, side door open, exactly like the text said. So they go inside. At approximately 4 p.m. on Monday, the sheriff's office contacted WWE and told them that they had entered the home and found 3 bodies. They found an adult woman, an adult man, and a child, and that the home was now a major crime scene. So according to the findings, Nancy Benoit was killed first. She was killed on the night of Friday, June 22nd, and the cause of death was asphyxiation.
What is that again?
Strangling.
Oh.
So investigators determined that Nancy was strangled inside the house. She was found in the master bedroom. She was wrapped in a towel with her feet bound, and there were signs of a struggle consistent with basically she was jumped upon and manually strangled.
Oh.
And the thing about strangulation that I think a lot of people don't understand, and they do talk about this a lot in like documentaries and stuff, and Ed Kemper, I think, has a really famous quote with like, you don't realize how long it takes to strangle somebody. But strangulation takes a lot of time. It requires sustained force. It's not something that happens in a moment or by accident. Someone has to keep pressure there long enough for the body to shut down, and the scene in the bedroom reflected that. It was a controlled act. It was a deliberate one. So when investigators determined the time of death, again, it's Friday, June 22nd. Saturday morning was when Chris Benoit was texting his coworkers saying that his family was sick.
Mm-hmm.
She was already dead.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings us to Daniel. This one is really rough. So just letting you know.
Mm-hmm.
According to investigators, Daniel was killed the following day on Saturday, June 23rd. Toxicology reports later showed that Xanax was in Daniel's system, enough that medical examiners concluded that he had been sedated beforehand. Daniel was just 7 years old. He was small. He depended entirely on the adults around him, and the sedation meant he likely wasn't fully conscious, and there were no signs that he was struggled.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel was found in his bedroom on his bed, and the cause of death was asphyxiation.
Ugh.
Yes. Another super dark detail is that both of the bodies were found with Bibles next to them. In true crime, that's often interpreted as a sign of remorse, or at least an awareness of what was done.
Mm-hmm. I'd be like, that ain't saving you, buddy.
Yeah. I also want to be very, very clear. I'm going to talk about like his brain and such, but to be very, very clear, this man murdered a innocent woman and an innocent child.
It's not making an excuse.
Yes.
Yeah.
So putting that up front, but we're going to go into it. What also aligns with the remorse and awareness of what he was doing is the sedation of Daniel. Daniel was likely subdued to not feel pain while he was being strangled. So
there's like thought going into it.
Benoit was very much aware of what he was doing. Yes. Sorry, hard take, but I'm taking it. And that brings us to the gym and the final body and Benoit himself. The final act happened sometime between Saturday night and Sunday afternoon when he was sending the text messages. Benoit went into the home gym and hung himself. He used a machine in the gym, taking I think it was like a pull down machine, wrapped the cords around his neck and put weights on the other side. So he fashioned a noose using equipment from the gym and suspended himself from the machine. What was later found was that he had actually Googled the fastest way to kill yourself, which I don't know if we need trigger warnings or what, but please. Yeah.
Yeah. I think people knew what was
okay.
Yeah. Nervous laugh.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Again, this one's very dark. After Benoit's body was found, the investigation didn't end at the crime scene. Because with a case this extreme, the next question was unavoidable. What was happening in Benoit's mind? During the autopsies, doctors examined Chris Benoit's brain. What they found was shocking. Benoit's brain showed severe chronic can't say that word. CTE.
Some big word.
Yep. They find CTE. And it was so advanced that one of the neuropathologists later said it resembled the brain of an 85-year-old man with Alzheimer's disease.
Whoa.
Benoit was 40.
That's crazy.
The tissue showed widespread degeneration, shrinkage, damage in areas tied to impulse control, emotional regulation, judgment, and aggression. This was not a mild case. This wasn't not early stages. It was extensive long-term injury from repeated head trauma. Again, I'm going to say that this does not excuse what he did. He murdered his wife. He murdered his child. And nothing about brain damage erases that responsibility.
Yeah.
But it does force a harder conversation because Benoit is not alone in CTE. CTE has been since found in athletes across contact sports, football players, wrestlers, boxers, hockey players, men who were celebrated for being tough, for playing through the pain, for not sitting out. Obviously, one of the most well-known comparisons that I could find to this story was Aaron Hernandez. After his death, his brain showed advanced CTE, also at a young age, with damage tied to paranoia, impulsivity, and emotional volatility. Again, not an excuse, just a pattern. And this is the part that keeps pulling me back because these were not freak accidents. These were not rare outliers. They were men whose careers were built on absorbing damage and being rewarded for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just fascinated by CTE because, like, there's also, like, simple, like, they talk about this all the time. And again, this is where my deep dive, like, listening to podcasts and, like, reading about this came in, is in football, they have helmets that look silly. You've probably seen them. They're, like, the extra padded or they're, like, bigger. But, like, they are supposed to be able to reduce or protect in a much more significant way. And but they're not required. So the NFL is like, oh, like, we offer them, but
like, if they opt out, they opt out.
The players are like, they're not cool, so we don't wear them.
They're like, I'll take the head injury.
Exactly. Like, and, like, I played sports. I've had concussions. I've had, teeth knocked out, like, all of the stuff.
Yeah.
And you're basically told to, like, walk them off. There's nothing, but there is nothing compared to what these athletes were enduring week after week and year after year. So again, why I'm so fascinated by CTE is because it's dark and it's invisible while it's happening. There's no scan, there's no test, there's no clear line when someone says you need to stop now. And by the time that they know what's going on, it's far too late. And sorry, again, adding another note is a lot of these guys know what is happening to their brain. Like, they can feel it. They can feel it. There have been kids as young as, like, 12 years old that have had it and have ended their lives because they're just like, I know something is wrong and I know what it's from. And quite honestly, a lot of the people that suffer from CTE end up ending their own lives, but they end up doing things so that their brain isn't damaged because they want it to be studied to try and help others.
Oh.
Yeah. Like,
interesting.
Really, really gruesome.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So based off, like, all of the cases that you've, like, or I don't know if you've seen other cases with the CTE. Is it CTE?
CTE.
CTE. Because I almost feel like I get that it can lead to, like, aggression and, like, I don't know. But I almost feel like that the act of killing someone is, like, that has to be something that's already in them. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like it could cause that, but it can make it easier for them to snap because the aggressiveness. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just like say you're in soccer or whatever, and, like, you get it. Like, I can't see you killing somebody. But I mean, or maybe that's why, like, it'll affect someone that way. Like, they'll kill somebody, or the other way, like, they take their own lives because who knows what's happening in there, those thoughts and everything. I don't know. Maybe they're intrusive thoughts. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, shocker, I'm not a doctor. I'm sure that's a surprise to everybody, but, like, from, like, what I was reading is, like, it really can manifest in different ways. And I mean, I want to agree with you. Like, obviously we don't know everything, but, like, I do think that it probably feeds off of, like, what already exists in you. Like, some of the stuff is, like, guys were, like, pulling out their own teeth. Like, it really seems like their mind is working against them and they don't know how to combat it. And so, like, again, this is why I, like, say, we're not defending Chris Benoit in any sort of way. He murdered people. And I do think that there were parts in this case where, like, he was actively aware of what he was doing. So, like, I'm not blaming CTE on it, but I do think it's, like, a fascinating part of the case. And who's to say if, like, he would have, like, escalated to that point without the brain injuries?
Yeah, I think that's the part, like, I'm curious on if it's, like, I mean, I don't think anyone will ever know. But
yeah, and that's full conjecture. But like, that's the fascinating part of it is, like, what would these guys were at, like, freaking, like, freak athletes. And they were obviously very skilled and I think intelligent. Like, but these injuries change their entire anatomy. Mm-hmm. And it's...
Yeah. I know brain injuries can do some crazy things.
Well, we talk about that too with like some of the like serial killers, like head injuries. They change. People talk about it all the time. It's like, yeah, I fell off a swing, you know, as a kid, and my entire personality changed.
I read a story about someone that had a head injury and they damaged, what is it called? The frontal lobe.
Yeah.
And so their fear was just turned off. But it would put them in really dangerous situations because they didn't know what to be like, what they should be cautious of or not. So it's like that. I'm like, on one hand, that would be kind of nice because then you wouldn't have fear. But on the other hand, you could probably die. Like, yeah. It's crazy.
No, it's fascinating. And like what you mentioned it with your story of just like what the brain is capable of, like what it's capable of, but like once it's damaged, what it's also capable of. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like it can work against you too.
Exactly. Yeah. So like I said, I've gone down quite a hole of reading about this stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. I made Kyle watch the movie Concussion, which sorry. There's a lot of problems with the movie Concussion, and I didn't want to like go off on this whole other side story, but I've also been going down this rabbit hole of just like the fights over who, like the guy that is portrayed in Concussion, the doctor, he went into like all of these different debates with people because he wanted to be the one that like discovered CTE, but there were other like doctors already investigate. So there's this whole like ego trip.
We already know.
Yeah, it's like
it's called CTE.
But it's like, okay, so you guys are really fighting over the fact that like even I mean, I guess this isn't surprising, but like the doctors are fighting over the fact of like helping people. It's like, what's the goal here? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like the patient.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, no, I discovered it first.
Yeah. Sorry, Will Smith, but he was a problematic guy too. Not well, I guess
the character.
Yeah. So just to like close it out. So the Benoit legacy, I mentioned up top, like he was a huge person. He probably would have been like Hall of Famer or whatever wrestling does. Yeah. But he's been essentially erased from professional wrestling. His championships were stripped from him after the murders, and WWE and WWF distanced themselves from his name. Even if you look up on Wikipedia, which I did to fact check some of his championships, he's not listed.
Oh, really? Oh, whoa.
So.
Oh, he's not listed as a WWE or Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that is the story of Chris Benoit.
That was crazy. Yeah. That was interesting.
Yeah.
And like you said in the beginning, it's weird how like our stories. Like,
I know. When you started talking, I was just like kind of like.
You're like, woo.
Yeah. All excited.
You're like, just you wait.
We're both talking about the brain today.
We love the brain. But anyway, that wraps up our episode for today. If you guys have any stories to send us or just want to share a story, I was about to say if you want to tell us any stories or if you want to share a story with us, which is the exact same thing.
Our brains are malfunctioning now.
I know. You can email us at
igsttystories@gmail.com.
Or you can DM us or comment on our social media on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube at
IGSTTYpod. And we already said it.
I know. I was like, wait, I think you usually say that. Our brains are a little whack. Minus. Sorry, I messed us up. But also, don't forget to rate and review and subscribe to us. The ratings and reviews make a huge difference.
They really do. And share, I mean, even if you can't rate, review, subscribe, send us to one of your friends. Yeah. I think that, like, we talked about this in our 50th episode, but everybody has a story. And what's been really cool about this whole experience of the podcast is, like, people are more into this than you think. So if you're like a secret true crime or paranormal fan, send it to one of your friends because you'd be shocked that they're probably into it too.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I feel like it's brought out so many stories from people who are like, oh, I didn't know you were into it. But also, really quick reminder, we have a show coming up in February.
Yes, we have a Friday the 13th show.
Yes. I was about to ask you what the date was.
February 13th, Friday the 13th. We're back at Jared's, our second home, and we're super excited.
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
But we will post the information on social media, so keep a lookout, and that's your reason to follow us, so you can keep up with those dates.
Yeah, because we have more stuff coming up, too. We have way more live shows happening and some exciting stuff.
Well, thank you guys for listening.
Later.